of bread cooling on a sill, of a younger sister she'd left behind to earn coin. Elias wrote back about the land, the way dawn rolled over the prairie like a held breath, the patience of horses, the quiet that could heal a man if he let it. He did not tell her about the ache that had lived in his chest since the winter sickness took his wife, or how hope frightened him more than loneliness ever had. When the agency's notice finally arrived, stamped and official, Elias read it twice before trusting his eyes. Her name would be on the passenger list come spring. He repaired the loose board by the porch, patched the roof where snow had worried the seam, and painted the bedroom window a soft blue because she once mentioned loving the color of open skies. Each small task felt like a promise he could keep with his hands. The weeks thinned. Elias practiced kindness the way a man practices a craft, quietly, with care. He learned to bake bread that didn't burn, to set the table without clatter, to listen to the wind for storms. At the mercantile, he bought a length of calico with yellow flowers, uncertain why, only certain it belonged to her future. The shopkeeper raised an eyebrow, but Elias smiled and paid. On the day the train was due, he rode into town early, the horse's hooves striking sparks of frost. The platform smelled of coal and anticipation. Families gathered, hats in hand, a fiddler played to fill the waiting. Elias stood apart, palms damp, heart knocking like it wanted out. He rehearsed what to say: welcome, thank you for coming, I hope you're not disappointed, and found every word too small. The train thundered in, steam billowing, and the doors opened to spill strangers into the morning. He scanned faces, comparing them to the woman he knew only through ink. Then he saw her hesitate at the step, clutching a single suitcase. She looked older than the girl in the letters, as travel makes people, but there was the same steadiness he'd come to trust. When her eyes met his, recognition sparked, surprise first, then relief, like finding the right door in a strange house. Elias tipped his hat. "Miss Hart," he said, voice rough with all he hadn't said before. "Mr. Cole," she replied, and her smile was careful, brave. She took his offered hand, and the world seemed to settle, the way dust does after rain. They spoke little on the ride home, words unnecessary while the land unfolded between them. Elias pointed out the creek that ran sweet even in drought, the cottonwood that marked the turn. She listened, asking questions that showed she'd read him as closely as he'd read her. At the ranch, she stepped down and breathed deep, as if testing the place with her lungs. "It's quiet," she said. He nodded. "It can be kind, too." As dusk laid its blue hush across the fields, Elias realized he had loved her long before she ever arrived, not the idea of her, but the patience, the courage threaded through her words. Standing there, with the house warm behind them and the future unafraid to show its face, he felt the old ache loosen, just enough to let something new take root.